Ink up. Slow down. Write your rhythm with script and scribe.
Hi everyone, welcome to Script and Scribe. I'm Kat, and today we're looking at my currently inked for summer because I've decided I'm just going to stick with the same colors throughout summer. And my inspiration is going to be color analysis. And color analysis relies, or it's also known as seasonal color analysis. It's a system for identifying colors that harmonize best with natural coloring like hair color, eye color, and skin tone. And the idea is that it reflects your own natural palette by looking at undertones, values such as light, medium, or deep, and chroma, such as high contrast or low contrast. So, for example, soft and blended, such as muted, which are my favorite colors, or really bright chroma. So, these elements combine to form 12 or 16 seasons in the seasonal color analysis. And for summer, I've looked at three main ones, which are the cool, also known as true summer, muted, and also light. And I'll put up an image of 9 colors that reflect these palettes, and those are colors of summer. I am going to go with the muted. Unfortunately, I don't own all the colors that the muted palette is inspired by. So I've gone for colors that I do actually own, and it's brought it down perhaps a little darker than the one that's inspired it, but I'm just showing you my inspiration for it. I just decided I'm not going to be buying anything new just because I've had this idea, though I like the idea. I'm going to rely on the inks that I have because I've got close to like 60 colors now. Okay, so let's get started.
It probably surprises no one that I start with Eyre from Wearingeul in the Sailor Proteus Slim. This is one of my favorite inks ever, and I'm not the only one because it is sold out currently on Cult Pens here in the UK, where I get most of my inks. It's a beautiful, dusty mauve color with fantastic shading. The next ink is a different color and a different brand, and yet they have very similar qualities that I enjoy. They don't have a very long drying time, and they shade beautifully. So this is Diamine Celadon Cat, and it's a bluish green with grey undertone. I've inked up my mint green Jinhao 82 with it. My next inked pen is Opus 88 Harmony. It's an eyedropper pen, which Opus 88 is very popular for. And I'll actually get the ink out of the body so that you can see the fantastic capacity of this. It is such a reliable pen. And as I lay the ink down, I actually realized that this would have been a much better color in a different pen, but we'll get to that in a bit. Because it is sort of like what you might call maize, or sort of like cool toned yellowy brown color, and it's called Sand Between Your Toes. This one actually would have worked in the next pen, which is a Jinhao 82 Turmeric. Though I don't find it as yellow as turmeric actually is, I do feel like it's got a more neutral leaning. The next ink is absolutely gorgeous, even if it is perhaps not the best match to the color of the pen. It is Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green. Another ink that dries fast and has great shading. I don't find that it has much sheen, especially in this Wearingeul swatch book, but it might sheen on paper like Hobonichi Tomoe River paper. Next up we have Wearingeul's A Taxidermied Genius, which has a plum base and a sort of green sheen in it. Wearingeul is one of my favorite ink brands, and it's a Korean company. I just love the variety that they provide, but also the way that these inks perform. We'll be pairing this with Benu's Dailymate Exciting Friday, a bright pink and fuchsia pen. Now we have a Robert Oster Shimmer ink that's a Cult Pens exclusive. it is a color that is one of my favorites. It has such depth. It is Lyme Regis Grey, and it has far more than grey in it. It has this wonderful pink shimmer to it that lends warmth but stays sort of muted and understated and soft. It also has on the right paper hints of turquoise and definitely that grey undertone. For shimmer inks, I tend to use medium nibs from Benu, which is a Schmidt nib, and I find that so reliable for letting the shimmer really show through in the writing. And also the Jinhao Dao Fine, which sort of writes like a medium. And I don't find that all pens allow the shimmer to come through properly, so I was pleasantly surprised with this Cross Bailey medium nib. We'll continue with another shimmer ink, and that is Stroke of Midnight from Ferris Wheel Press. And we'll be pairing that with a trusty, really good pen for shimmer inks, the Jinhao Dao 9019, this time in a translucent blue. And I love this Ferris Wheel Press ink. It has so much depth to it. It starts off when it's very saturated, the deepest, darkest navy. But if you really let it show with all of the shading, you can see that there's lighter blues in it and hints of gold, silver, and even a little red. Since my next ink is standard rather than a shimmer, I'm opting for my Platinum 3776 pen, and I'll be pairing that up with Wearingeul's Beneath the Wheel, which is a deep, dark forest green, sort of like ivy green, but if you really saturate it, towards the edges, you'll see this sort of charcoal leaning. So it really moves from this lovely forest green towards shadows. I've then inked up my final pen, which is the Jinhao 10 with a jug of Sangria from Diamine, and this is a dusty muted rose color, which I really enjoy. And again, it's a really fast drying ink, so I think that unconsciously I've picked quite a few inks that dry fast.
My best pen and ink pairings are still, as usual, the Wearingeul Jane Eyre in the Protea Slim Dusk, which was a limited edition for cult pens. And then the next one, Diamine Celadon Cat with this minty color. So even though this is a lighter color than the ink, they're definitely compatible. So that's a new favorite. And I would then definitely start using this one for Diamine Sand Between Your Toes, because I think they complement each other. This is the Jinhao 82 in Turmeric, but as you know, I filled it with that one, so not my best color combination, but I think these three, that works really well. And then the surprise performance for me is this Cross Bailey. This is a medium nib. I wasn't sure how much shimmer was going to get through, but as you can see for yourself, a lot of shimmer did get through on the writing. A sort of run-up pairing for me would be the Laurel Green 3776, together with Beneath the Wheel by Wearingeul.
Let me know in the comments, are you a fan of any of these inks or these pens? And what colors are you going for this month? Thanks for tuning in. Take care.